Good morning and welcome back for day 3 of our virtual conference. My original intentions were to log in this morning and welcome you to our third and final day of a wonderful conference. And I'm still going to do that. But last night I was closing out the day and looking over my notes and I got a little stuck. If you're like me, you might have spent some time last night wondering how you might show up today. Wondering what you might say to colleagues, friends, and family, wondering what the people you wish you could see and love on in person, wondering how you might support those that need something with everything going on in the world today. Just wondering. And when I woke up this morning, I had a little more clarity about those questions, at least one of them. How might I show up today? And I'm deeply reflecting on this spirit of gratitude that I've had since Monday. Today's agenda nicely aligns with what I'm feeling in this moment. In my experience, SACAC has always served as a place of professional growth, a place of mentorship, friendship, connection, and affirmation. I recognize that many may show up and arrive at conference a little differently today. But I hope that SACAC can be a space for you, whatever you need today. So, with my spirit of gratitude, this feels like a really special moment. We're celebrating our colleagues and our friends with an awards program. Naturally, there are many more individuals that we'd like to acknowledge for all of the things that you all do. In fact, I hope that we'll all reflect on and acknowledge those names that you doodled yesterday when our featured speaker, Nicole Pinkham, had us contemplating and thinking about some of those folks. This is also a special moment as we witness leadership transitions. I'm so happy to be sharing this with you all. So before we launch full steam ahead into our award ceremony, I have just a few thank yous for this spirit of gratitude. Thank you to all of our presenters and our group and committee leaders. Your willingness to share your expertise over the last few days and today have meant so much. We've actually gotten so many requests to share recordings, and we will do that, but after the conclusion of our conference. So just keep in mind that we have recordings ready to share with you all. It just won't be ready until after the conference has wrapped up. Thank you to our sponsors. Your investment in our amazing experience is so much appreciated. Again, in a time where there's so much uncertainties and budget restrictions, we are so grateful for your investment. And thank you to our 2020 conference champions for your donations last year, which was absolutely something that helped us pull off this conference free of charge for our members this year. Thank you to everyone that shared your positive feedback over the last few days. I am so grateful that this has been a space that many of you have found to be productive, enlightening, as well as positive. Thank you to my Love It crew for holding me down all year. It's been a lot. I really appreciate you all. You are a wonderful team, a dream team. Thank you to the supportive board. We have a board group meet and it was off the chain over the last few days. And I'm so appreciative for everything that you all do, as well as your support. And last but not least, thank you to the conference team, Diana and Tyler and Jonathan. I'm gonna loop you right on in there too. I don't even have the words today, but don't worry. We have a debrief meeting coming up about all of these lovely things, and I will find the time and space and the words to say thank you. Our next conference, get excited, because it seems like we're doing conference differently every year as we approach the 2020s. In 2022, we will be in Orlando, Florida. At least that is what we're planning for. And we'll be in the Omni and Champions Gate, not too far down the street from the homies Mickey and Minnie. So hopefully you guys can make this into a family vacation if you'd like. But for those who are new to SACAC, when we are in person, we like to put everything under one roof. So the whole conference, including the rooms, will be at the Omni Champions Gate. We welcome you to Orlando on Sunday, April 3rd of 2022. Again, that's Sunday, April 3rd of 2022. In 2023, we will be in Jacksonville, which is that rescheduled date. And so those dates will be April 22nd to the 25th of 2023. And we'll be at the Hyatt Regency. And lastly, we rescheduled Raleigh for 2020. And that will be a little earlier, actually a lot earlier, March 24th through March 27th of 2024. Don't worry, we'll give you plenty of time to get those dates right, but just wanted to reshare those. All right, let's get into the spirit of gratitude, everybody. Let's get into this award ceremony. So I would like to take this time to introduce a couple of friends and colleagues. So first, Jessica Sant, who serves as our past president and our governance and nominating committee chair. And of course, then there's Ryan Castle, our past president, currently, and our governance and nominating committee co-chair. Thank you both for all of the great work that you've been doing, in addition to those wonderful promotions that you've all received over this academic year. A lot to celebrate, and we're so grateful that we still have you for this moment. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you two.
Thank you, Anita, and congratulations to you as well. It's wonderful to be with all of you this morning. While I know we are looking forward to the day where we can gather together again, I have been so impressed and grateful for the work of the SACAC leadership in coordinating such an amazing virtual event. Thank you, SACAC. As Anita shared, I had the privilege of serving as SACAC's governance and nominating chair this year. And while I'm eager to recognize so many outstanding leaders within our organization, I'd first like to take a few moments to thank the SACAC Governance and Nominating Committee for their exceptional efforts. The work of the GNN committee is not easy. With so many qualified and deserving applicants and nominees, committee members devote a great deal of personal time to thoughtfully considering and identifying a slate, along with award recipients who best address the needs and honor the values of our organization. It's no small feat, and I appreciate the care and energy each of you put into this role. Thank you so much for your service. Also, on behalf of the committee, I'd like to thank every SACAC member who submitted nominations for board candidates and award recipients. Thank you for making our job difficult. You collectively offered us a large number of qualified nominations for a limited number of board positions and awards. The committee embraced this challenge with a sincere desire to make the very best choices and to consider a variety of criteria to ensure a diversity of talent, experience, and perspective from across our region. And now to the business of the committee. As Diana shared yesterday, because we are meeting virtually, no official votes can take place during today's meeting. With that in mind, 207 of you submitted a proxy ballot for the 2021 SACAC slate. You can head to the next slide. President-elect Zaire McCoy, Rollins College, Florida. Board of Directors, Ann Egmonds Aguirre, Notre Dame High School, Tennessee. Corey Bailey, Mississippi State University, Mississippi. Shannon Barrio, Metairie Park Country Day, Louisiana. Pamela Bowie, Arkansas State University, Arkansas. Jade Domingue, Agnes Scott College, Georgia. Freddie Littman, Lynn University, Florida. Dan Monahan, St. Andrews Swanee School, Tennessee. And Courtney Vaughn, Elon University, North Carolina. With 204 eligible SACAC members casting a vote in the affirmative, the 2021 Board of Directors slate has been accepted. We are thrilled with the experience and knowledge this group of leaders will offer the SACAC board, and we are grateful for your willingness to serve. Yay, congratulations to each of you. Now I'd like to ask Ryan Castle, co-chair of the SACAC Governance and Nominating Committee, to join me in presenting the SACAC Awards. I'd also like to thank Ryan for his tremendous partnership this year. When I went on maternity leave in October, Ryan took over the reins effortlessly. Without missing a beat, he ensured applicants and nominators received consistent and reliable communication from our committee. Ryan, You epitomize dependability and diligence, and it's been such a joy to serve with you throughout the presidential cycle and this year too. Thank you for all you do on behalf of SACAC. Okay, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan to announce our very first award. Take it away, Ryan.
Thank you, Jessica. Good morning, SACAC family. The first award this morning is the Larry West Award, the highest award given by the Southern Association for College Admission Counseling. The Larry West Award is based on longevity of service and dedication to SACAC, outstanding contributions to the admission counseling profession, leadership within that profession, and dedication to the students we serve. Through his work at Guilford College and DePaul University, Larry West was the consummate professional with a lifetime devoted to helping students reach their potential. He served our profession well with his eye on the ethics of college admissions, making certain that others were well served and well versed. Larry served SACAC in many capacities, including as chair of the Admission Practices Committee, NACAC delegate, president-elect, and president. He was a strong negotiator and mediator who listened to every voice. His sense of humor and his dedication to the profession made him a great choice as a leader within our organization and an example for all in his service to students. This year's recipient of the Larry West Award is the very personification of professionalism, ethical conduct, and leadership. She has served SACAC as a member of the board, admission practices chair, president, and board advisor. She currently sits on the board of directors for the Common Application, a position she has held since 2015. As one of her nominators shared, I know of no one who better exemplifies all of the principles on which SACAC and NACAC are built. Professional, experienced, diligent, compassionate. Leanne Backlund has always represented her institutions admirably and sought the very best for the students with whom she has worked. In every profession she has held, Leanne has been enthusiastic, energetic, and collaborative. No task has been too large or too small. She has served as a mentor and example for countless young admission officers and college counselors, not just in her own institutions, but in others too, through summer seminar, dry run, and a plethora of presentations at conferences and workshops through the years. Her influence has been inspiring and far-reaching. Leanne is one of the most approachable, outgoing, personable, positive, and warm-hearted people in our profession. When encountering Leanne, you'll immediately notice the joy button that she wears to remind us all to find the joy in our lives. Just yesterday on her lunchtime walk, she snapped a photo of a blooming flower and sent it to her staff with the hashtag #FindYourJoy. As a former colleague and a forever friend and mentor, Leanne has positively influenced my own life in so many ways. I am thrilled to announce Leanne Backlund of Suwanee as the 2021 recipient of the Larry West Award. Congratulations, Leanne.
Yay. All right, congratulations, Leanne. Next up is the Myron Burney Award for Inclusion and Access. And we actually have two recipients for this award this year. Myron Burney's passion was preparing and helping young people identify and access higher education. Through his work at North Carolina State University, the University of Georgia, and as a director of student success and outreach at the University of North Carolina, and assistant vice chancellor for enrollment management and retention at Elizabeth City State University, Myron helped many underrepresented students realize their dreams to attend college. He provided support to parents, increasing their understanding of the value of a college education, and he assisted them in identifying multiple opportunities available to help their children reach their goals. A dedicated educator, Myron was inspired to build bridges to higher education for underrepresented young people. Myron's big smile, willing attitude, and sincerity were beloved among his friends and colleagues in SACAC and made him a natural connector for professionals focused on helping students across educational opportunities. Tragically, Myron lost his life in a traffic accident in July 2014. Commitment, empathy, and inclusion were key components of the work he produced within our profession, and this award honors a SACAC member who, like Myron, has made a significant impact in our field promoting inclusion and access, The first recipient of the Myron Burney Award for Inclusion and Access jumped into higher education from the nonprofit sector with a burning passion for serving underrepresented students and providing access for students through admission and financial aid initiatives. He's developed a new programming at the University of North Georgia in the last 2 years that include an additional Spanish-speaking open house for the Latinx community, geared specifically for students and parents whose first language is not English. This has helped break down the barriers for Latinx parents to better understand the college process and better help their students through their journey. He has also designed UNG Shadow Days for both Latinx and Black and African American students. This pilot program was coordinated without funding and allowed for prospective students to shadow a current UNG student, experience a UNG class, learn more about the admission process, and have lunch with college students in the dining hall too. Larry Argueta has also translated Spanish road pieces for the Latinx community and hosted college sessions at high schools for underrepresented students and parents. It's clear Larry's priority to help bridge the gap of applying to college, whether that is to UNG or to any other institution. Congratulations to you, Larry, from the University of North Georgia, recipient of the Myron Burney Award for Inclusion and Access. Our second recipient of the Myron Burney Award moved from California to North Carolina in the fall of 2018 to accept a position with the Young Eisner Scholars, or YES, to serve a population with whom she identifies closely. She has developed an excellent working knowledge of FAFSA, CSS, and PFS2. She is a skilled communicator with students and families and assists them in navigating the complexities of processes and procedures within various systems. Simultaneously, Rebecca Figueroa seeks out opportunities to personally develop her college access knowledge. In 2020, she applied and was awarded 2 professional development opportunities. She was selected as a College Board Regional Fellow and was a recipient of the SACAG Counselor Participation Fund grant. On behalf of students with whom she works, Rebecca has applied for several grants at the local, regional, and national level. YES was awarded funds toward a college tour from SACAG's Extend the Dream grant. Due to COVID, Rebecca creatively and with approval applied those funds to a different project to support her students. It's for all of these reasons I am happy to share that our second Myron Burney Award for Access and Inclusion is Rebecca Figueroa at Young Eisner Scholars. Congratulations to you, Rebecca.
Congratulations to you both. Our next award is the Garrett Klein Award for Mid-Level Service. Garrett Klein began his professional career in the undergraduate admission office at Vanderbilt University. During the decade he worked in that office, Garrett impressed all with whom he worked, and he was promoted 3 times. Garrett demonstrated complete commitment to students and unyielding loyalty to Vanderbilt. He approached all he did with energy, enthusiasm, and wit. He was ambitious in the best sense of the word, always wanting to learn more and to become more effective. Garrett was committed to contributing to the development of others by sharing his experience and knowledge through conference presentations and by serving on the faculty at SACAG's Dry Run workshop. He was incisive, analytical, and incredibly intelligent. His capacity for long hours and hard work was equaled only by his ability to laugh. This year's Garrett Klein recipient is always willing to lend her voice in support of a cause that will benefit students or to speak out regarding a practice that is unfair or disadvantages students. She is a regular participant and presenter at conferences, sharing her experiences with colleagues. Although she is currently working for a specific institution, she remains a resource for all students. Through her expertise in social media, she keeps SACAG members connected and promotes information that draws others into conversation and into the work of our organization. It seems as if so many people know Tara Nealon because she makes a point of reaching out to so many of us. She is always willing to participate in informative events held for students and organizes social events to allow colleagues to learn from one another. A great ambassador for SACAG, there have been countless instances of Tara inviting others to get involved, demonstrating her leadership through her engagement and mentoring others to developing them in the profession. It is my honor to name Tara Nealon from Muhlenberg College as SACAC's 2021 recipient of the Garrett Klein Award for Mid-Level Service. Congratulations to you, Tara.
Congrats, Tara. Next up is the William Starling Award for Mentoring. Bill Starling taught all who worked with him the true purpose of work. He worked hard for many years at Wake Forest University, where he set an example of integrity and trained himself to see and shape the best in people. He always saw beyond the day-to-day, whether it was encouraging his staff to further their education or showing constant interest in their families, for he himself was a family man. He inspired rather than demanded quality. In 2 ways especially, he valued his employees. He gently, consistently, and purposefully educated his employees on standards of the profession. And he was loyal to the people he invested of himself. And 2, he corrected those who made errors, but also defended them rigorously to the family or administrator who felt underappreciated or misunderstood. The 2021 William Starling Award recipient has been a mentor to many at every step of her career, including me. On the college side, on the high school side, to new professionals, veterans, and many, many in between. I couldn't agree with her nominator more, sharing, in my first role in the profession, Pam Ambler mentored a group of new admission counselors, and for some in the group, it was their first professional job. She did so with humor, grace, and honesty. And even when she took a new role at another institution, Pam kept up with us, checking in to see how we were doing and helping to connect us with others in the profession. Almost a decade later, Pam continues to provide me and so many others with sage advice, an understanding ear, and always a willingness to help out. Regardless of where she works, she has students' interests at heart while also being able to wonderfully support her colleagues in the profession. She encourages us and lifts us up. Pam believes in people and brings out the best in them. Her nominator goes on to share a piece of advice Pam shared with me when we were starting out was to keep a happy emails folder in your inbox. Many years later, I still have that folder and am able to look back at joyful moments in the profession. I'm grateful that Pam took the time to shepherd me into this field, and I hope to pay it forward to many, many others. It is my great, great privilege to announce Pam Ambler from Pace Academy as the recipient of this year's William Starling Award for Mentoring. Congratulations to you, my dear friend, Pam.
Congratulations, Pam. And now for the President's Award for Excellence. Awarded to a SACAC member or members, the President's Award recognizes the outstanding contributions of the recipient to SACAC, NACAC, and the college admission profession. This year's President's Award recipient was selected for a number of reasons. Her love for her work, her commitment to low-income, first-generation students and students of color, but also for what she has meant to the state of Mississippi promoting SACAC. Shannon Grimsley is SACAC in Mississippi. When a volunteer is needed, she steps in. When drive-ins are planned, she always leads, or is the lead's go-to assistant. She troubleshoots CEUs, advertises for SACAC, and plans agendas. If a legislative rep or a state nominee for office is needed, Shannon takes on this role and always tries to be inclusive. Her nominator writes, Shannon is one of those rare people that doesn't need recognition and doesn't need to be the person in charge. She simply works hard because she is passionate about the work and takes pride in everything she does. When I see the big picture, Shannon fills in with the details. This has been the case for my 20 years of working with her. Leading outreach efforts for the Woodward Hines Educational Foundation, she now supports not only the original classroom workshops for high school counselors, but also FAFSA completion efforts, webinars, online trainings, social media events, and workshops that have expanded college access beyond just counselors to teachers and administrators, students, and their families. And she always prioritizes the underserved students and under-resourced schools. It is with great excitement that I announce Shannon Grimsley of the Woodward Hines Educational Foundation as the 2021 SACAC President's Award for Excellence. Congratulations, Shannon.
Congrats, Shannon. Last is the Rising Star Award. The Rising Star Award honors individuals and programs that exemplify excellence and dedication to serving the needs of students in the transition from high school to college. SACAC's 2021 Rising Star has a passion for helping prospective families navigate the college admission process. She is a dynamic and encouraging leader and team player who consistently innovates, inspiring those around her. When she realized that school counselors in her territory were overwhelmed with college updates and policy changes in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, she reached out to admission representatives from 7 other institutions in her territory to co-host a virtual event, offering updates and answering questions in a streamlined manner. As a recruiter for primarily public inner city schools, Kayla Hubbard advocates for her students on a regular basis. To further understand the goals and needs, she created a focus group and has maintained contact with them throughout their freshman year, assisting in their transition and gaining valuable feedback for how she can better support students like them in the future. She organized a donation drive in coordination with the school district, where her office was able to provide over 50 items for students in need to support their efforts too. Kayla constantly goes above and beyond her job requirements to engage with students, school administrators, and the greater Memphis region as an advocate for higher education. Skilled and reliable and relatable too, Kayla has a way of not just sharing information, but motivating her charges to be proactive in accomplishing their goals. Kayla was a session presenter at this year's virtual TACRO conference and shared ideas to expand student outreach efforts and counselor support. She currently serves as the SACAC Tennessee Communication Liaison. It's my great pleasure to announce Kayla Hubbard at the University of Memphis as this year's Rising Star recipient. Congrats, Kayla. And with that, congratulations to all of our award recipients. We are thrilled for you, and you are absolutely so deserving. Know that you will be receiving your plaque from SACAC in the mail following today's program. And now I'm going to toss it back over to Ryan to introduce Jonathan for his closing remarks.
I echo Jessica's congratulations to all award recipients. Thank you for serving SACAC so well and representing the organization in such an incredible way. It is my honor to introduce a familiar face and name to you, the 2020-2021 president of SACAC, Jonathan Farrell.
All right. Well, it has been a year. Let's start there. I have been talking to myself without just tell myself not to get emotional during this, but it is a bit difficult to do today. It is amazing to me that I have been able to be the president of such an organization when I think of my own background. Many of you maybe know my story, and maybe don't. But I went to undergraduate at Centenary College in Louisiana. Hopefully some of those folks are on here, SACAC members. And I got wowed by Centenary through a television broadcast for their choir, which I wanted to be a part of and was. And I walked into my counselor's office to get some help with going there. And as I walked out, I walked back in because I forgot to do something and overheard her laughing to another counselor saying that I would never get into that school. And so it is amazing to me that not only did I get into that school, I worked at that school, and now I've made it my life's work to make sure that no other student ever feels what I felt in that process. This year, I thought about so many times what my presidential year might look like, and every president before you says to you, it's going to go really fast, and those sorts of things, and there are going to be things that come up that you don't expect, and boy were they right. I never imagined my presidential year to be what it was, to be fighting 2 pandemics at the same time, to have to make decisions about programs in person, moving to virtual, and not being able to be present at any SACAC function in person. Everything has been virtual. But what I will say is that the work is still important. And, for me, it has never been about being out front or being, the name in front of president. It's been about doing the work. And so that became even more important to me in this year. And, as I think back through this year, I think there's a lot to be proud of. I have had a board of directors who have been hands down beside me and the presidential team every step of the way. And I cannot thank them enough for their hard work and their dedication in a time of such uncertainty. When I know they were maybe in their personal lives feeling a lot of uncertainty, they came to the SACAC table ready to do the work. And I really appreciate each of you for all of your hard work. There have been so many of you, I can't even call out names, but there's been so many of you who have along the way sent me texts, sent me emails along the way. And what you didn't know that was often at times when you would send those to me would be times when I would feel really low. And I would get a text from you, from someone, an email from someone that would give me the encouragement that I needed to move forward. So it has truly been the joy and privilege of my life to serve as your president during this time. And when I think about, someone asked me the other day, do you think you did a good job? And I replied to them, I don't really think of it in that way. I think of it in this way. What I do know is that I've given SACAC my best this year. I can go to sleep at night knowing that I have really given SACAC everything and tried to make every decision with you in mind. So I am thankful for the opportunity to have served you in this way. And I know that you're in really good hands with Tyler. I have watched him over the course of this year really make decisions and move with this organization in mind first. And I know that he'll continue to do that. And I'm also glad that Zaire will be joining this presidential team. And together, I'm really excited to see what happens in the next year. So I wish we were doing this in person because it would be, I don't know, maybe it would be more fun, but I don't know. But this gavel, I have gotten in trouble a lot of times with this gavel because I have, in a whole year, I have never made it to a board meeting with this gavel. And Anita gets on me every time and says, you better have that gavel when it's time to pass the gavel. And so I made sure that I have this gavel. And though I can't do it in person, I'm going to pass this gavel to the new president, the 2021-2022 president of SACAC, Tyler Peterson. All right, get it, Tyler. Boom. Congratulations, Tyler. You can take it away.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for the virtual gavel pass from 3 hours away. We caught it. First, thank you to Jonathan and thank you to SACAC. Jonathan, you have led us exceptionally well this past year, and you continue to move our organization forward when some organizations have just decided to just sit and wait it out. That was not the case with SACAC under your leadership, and I look forward to working with you again this next year. This past year has helped us in many ways reimagine the work that we do, and hopefully it has helped us renew our commitment to the work that we do. We've learned some lessons this past year. Many of them have enabled us to serve our members better. And of course, there are some things that we hope we do not do next year as an organization. One of those is we hope very much that we are in Orlando, Florida together next year for this conference. Our last strategic plan was crafted in 2015, and many of those goals were met. It's time now for us to reimagine what we want this organization to look like over the next 5 years, and that will be a big undertaking. We've made great strides in supporting public school counselors and tackling issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion, but there's still more to do. There's always more to do. We've increased the number of professional development opportunities, number of grant opportunities, and the list goes on. But there, in fact, continues to be more that we can do. Jonathan reminded me this year that we exist to serve the members that serve the students. and we will continue to stay focused on that approach. I'm hopeful that we can find new or revised ways to engage more deeply with our members on all levels, and I know that we have the foundation in place to do this. I want to acknowledge the pain and hurt that so many of our members have experienced this past year, and specifically to my colleagues of color. And I also acknowledge that these feelings are not just isolated to the past year, but for many, it has been a lifetime. My commitment to you and to SACAC is to continue to see you, to continue to hear you, and to continue to support you. As I tell my team at UAB often, we are people first and employees second. And the same can be said for this organization. For us to be our best professionals, our best counselors, our best leaders, our best advocates, we need to make sure that SACAC is a place that provides support for us as people. And I'm proud to be part of an organization that for many years has combated issues of access and inclusion, racial injustice, various inequities. So when I think about supporting our members, it truly is support on all levels. It's support professionally and it's support personally. And I want SACAC to be a place that is supportive and that will continue to tackle the tough issues. I am thankful to be surrounded by an extremely talented and diverse board, an awesome presidential team in Jonathan and Zaire, and my presidential advisors for this year, Brandy Smith and Nancy Bean, as well as all of the many SACAC members that have given so much to this profession. I believe we all make each other better leaders and professionals when we can value the different perspectives that we all bring to the table while simultaneously advancing our mission. So as I enter my term as president, I look forward to leading you. I look forward to serving you, but I especially look forward to learning from you. SACAC is an organization that has been a meaningful part of my 20-year career in higher education. And I'm excited to lead this group as we turn the page and enter this next chapter. So I thank you in advance for your support of SACAC and the work that we continue to do, and for renewing our commitment to this important work.